Hi, I'm Teja Gerken with Peghead Nation, and today I'm here with the beautiful Bourgeois 0012 fret. This is a guitar that is part of Bourgeois' heirloom line of guitars. Within that, it's the Vintage series, and it is, of course, built in the Lewiston, Maine shop, which is the original Bourgeois shop, where everything is made under Dana Bourgeois' supervision. And it's a gorgeous guitar built with Madagascar rosewood and Aged Tone Adirondack spruce. So let's take a closer look. So, of course, you can tell that this guitar is patterned after a vintage 0012 fret guitar. Like everything that Bourgeois does, it has many of Dana Bourgeois' own touches, both in the look and the construction of the guitar. We have a slotted peghead that is a vintage style. We have Madagascar rosewood, I already mentioned, which to a lot of people is one of the premier sort of alternatives to Brazilian rosewood that you would have found on a vintage style 28 kind of guitar like this. When I first looked at this, I thought this might be Brazilian rosewood. Some Madagascar rosewood looks a lot like Brazilian, and this is one of those sets. Just gorgeous, almost landscape-like pattern on the sides here. This really rich, kind of chocolatey color. Just a really gorgeous piece of wood. Aged Tone Adirondack top. Aged Tone refers to the heat treatment that Bourgeois has been using on a lot of their tops, which kind of simulates an accelerated aging process for the top and really gives it more of that played-in vintage type tonality. Also makes it a little bit more dark in appearance than a typical new spruce top would have. The guitar has what could be described as essentially style 28 kind of appointments. We have herringbone purfling. We have cream-colored binding, simple black and white rosette, diamond inlays in the fingerboard, beautiful zigzag stripe on the back, on the Madagascar back of this guitar, open back tuners, of course, a little diamond volute on the peg head here. One major distinction between this guitar and a typical vintage 12 fret 00 is that the neck feels a lot more modern. It's a little bit narrower. It measures 1 23/32, which is fairly standard for what Bourgeois is doing on a lot of their guitars. So definitely a little bit narrower than the like 1 7/8 that you would maybe find on some vintage 00s, and definitely gives the guitar a much more contemporary, modern feel to it. And the neck has a very slight V to it, but overall I would describe this as a fairly contemporary feeling neck. The string spacing at the saddle is 2.2 inches, and that's kind of in the middle of the range for saddle string spacing. Maybe a little bit narrower than some vintage examples, but maybe a little bit wider than some modern guitars. So very comfortable to play fingerstyle with a pick, and will probably be a little bit more familiar to people who find that vintage guitars of this type might be a little bit wide. As far as the general construction goes, the instrument is built with animal protein glues. It, of course, has the standard Bourgeois bolt-on neck, which is a very sophisticated bolt-on design that is completely adjustable and removable, and has really worked out well, and it's part of the overall Bourgeois design and vibe. And we have a standard large teardrop pickguard. And if you know Bourgeois guitars, you might know that he does have a more original bridge shape that he uses on some of his guitars, but this is more of a vintage style bridge, of course, done in ebony, and the fingerboard is also ebony on the guitar. So super clean construction inside and out. The fit and finish is just really fabulous, and just a gorgeous guitar all around. And playing the guitar, the thing that really jumps out at me, literally, is just how quick the response on this guitar is. I mean, it really, notes just jump out, doesn't take a lot of effort. really fun to play that way. It's like driving a sports car. Really just reacts to everything you put into it in a very quick and responsive way. Nice sort of lower mid-range. Just super playable. The setup on this is beautiful. I'm in drop D tuning right now. Of course, also sounds great in standard tuning. I just really enjoyed playing it this way. So kind of a modern feeling double O with a definite vintage character. Beautiful tonality, would make a great fingerstyle guitar. Also lovely for playing backup. 12 fret double O guitars like this really are the closest that steel strings get to a classical guitar, and maybe I will tune it up to standard tuning and just demonstrate playing it, playing a little Teja on it just for fun, because that responsiveness and the playability of the guitar really does lend itself to almost being played that way. I don't typically play in the classical position, but if you were to play it with a footstool, these guitars just really have the dimensions that really facilitate that kind of playing as well. Super nice to play that way, and just has that great balance. There really isn't a dead spot on the fingerboard or any kind of notes that jump out more than others. Super balanced, and just a very, very capable guitar that, as I mentioned earlier, really kind of does whatever you put into it, and I find that a very rewarding quality in a guitar. So lovely example of a 12 fret double O built by Bourgeois. I actually don't think I've ever demoed one in this exact format, and just a very impressive guitar. I think it sounds really great, super fun to play, and I would encourage you to seek one out if this is the type of guitar that you're interested in. If you are seeing this on YouTube, come on over to Peghead Nation for more of our gear demos, as well as our wide range of courses for guitars and other stringed and fretted instruments. My name is Teja Gerken, and I think I'll just go out and play the guitar a little bit more, and we'll see you very soon.